Anybody in the back that can't see, you can come up with us if you want to.
I can't see. I can't.
I'll try to get a little higher. Hold the picture. But it's a tiny book with little pictures, so if you can't see, come on up front. Good? I think I can see somebody who can't see me, so I'm going to ask you to move over just a little so I can sit where you're sitting. Sit where you're sitting? That way, because I see somebody back there who can't see me. There we go. That's the rule. Okay. All right, so I'm an art teacher. We've talked about that. Some of you who are up front here. So I love color, and I love things with crayons and paint. So I picked a story that's called The Crayon Box That Talked. And my earrings are made out of colored pencils. They are. My friend made them for me. All right, are we ready?
They look like flowers.
They kind of do look like flowers, don't they?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to read the story. If you have anything to talk with me about or any questions, we can do that afterwards while we're making crafts, because I'm going to come around and help everybody. Okay? Are we ready to hear a story?
Yeah.
And remember, our library theme is All Together, The Crayon Box That Talked by Shane DeWalt. That's the beginning pages here. While walking in a toy store the day before today, I overheard a crayon box with many things to say. I don't like red, said yellow. And green said, nor do I. And no one here likes orange, but no one knows just why. Kind of grumpy, aren't they? They are. We are a box of crayons that doesn't get along, said Blue to all the others. Something here is wrong. Well, I bought that box of crayons and took it home with me. I laid out all of the colors so the crayons all could see. They watched me as I colored with red and blue and green and black and white and orange and every color in between. They watched as green became the grass and blue became the sky. The yellow sun was shining bright on white clouds drifting by. Colors changing as they touched, becoming something new. They watched me as I colored. They watched till I was through. And when I finally finished, I began to walk away. And as I did, the crayon box had something more to say. I do like red, said yellow. And green said, so do I. And blue, you were terrific, so high up in the sky. We are a box of crayons, each one of us unique. But when we get together, the picture is complete. And that is the end of our story. So what makes this story so special to me? One, I'm an art teacher and I love crayons.
Listen.
You would be so happy you would have crayon friends until you like.
That would be really cool, wouldn't it?
Because they got together and they loved each other.
They got together and they learned how to appreciate each other, didn't they?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right. They didn't like each other in the beginning, but they got to know each other and then they changed their minds. Karen, let's listen. Let's give everybody a chance.
They learned that when they work together, they create a masterpiece.
There you go. They learned that when they worked together, they could create a masterpiece. That's a good thought. So, right. And that's kind of like us. We're all different. We all can do different things, I'm an art teacher, but to be honest, I really struggled with the craft for today. Because when I create art, I like to work 3D. I like to make things with clay. I like to make sculptures. I like to knit and crochet. I do all kinds of things that are 3D. I can draw and I can paint, but it doesn't get me excited. Some of you have Mrs. McKee for a teacher at Westfield. Yep, a couple of you. She loves to draw and paint, and she's really great at it, and she's super fast. We all have different things we're good at. So instead of looking at what other people can do, think about what you like to enjoy and what you can do and how everybody can work together. So when we do a set, did anybody go see, raise your hand, did anybody go see a play up at the high school, a musical or a play? And when their actors are on stage singing, they have the beautiful backdrops and the sets behind them. You see those?
Yeah, my best friend was Michael and Mary Poppins.
Awesome.
Well, one of my friends.
So they had to have decorations on the stage to make up the picture complete, right? So when the actors are talking and we're watching the play, all of the things behind them make it seem like a real story, right? So when my friends and I get together, I might build the big trees and another person might paint the walls, and we use our strengths to make things really pretty. So today, I really struggled because I'm like, oh, I have this cool idea. Did anybody ever make a snowflake? Raise your hand if you made a snowflake. Okay, a while ago, I learned how to make snowflakes, but they were actually like people in a circle. And I thought, well, that's really cool because it's like they're all working together and holding hands, and my story's about crayons. So I sat down and I got out my paper and my scissors, and I thought, well, maybe instead of a paper doll or a snowflake in a circle, we could do crayons. So I sketched out an idea. It's a half a crayon, because when we open it up, it becomes a bunch of crayons holding hearts in between. Can you see that? So I thought, well, that's kind of a neat idea. So I made a bigger one based on the. You guys are awesome. And what if I've got yellow and I've got blue and they kind of mix together? They make green. You guys already know this. This is so cool. So I got out some coffee filters. And I took some coffee filters and I think I put all my markers away. Can I have a box of markers, please? So we're going to do this really fast, okay? We're going to use some markers. And everybody today, when you're working, is going to have a paper plate. So that if the markers bleed through, it doesn't go where it shouldn't. So let's just do really fast. I'm going to do an experiment. Mine isn't going to be pretty. I want you to take your time and do pretty, okay? So I'm going to do a pattern. A pattern is when things repeat, right?
Yeah.
And if we take our time and you really color them in instead of just scribble, but if I take my time and really do a good job, we'll be here all day. Because that's part of being an artist. Sometimes I get really particular. But if you don't fill it in, you're going to have lots of white space. And I'm not going to fill it in so that you can see what the white space looks like. But if you take your time and you fill this with all kinds of colors, you can do something really awesome. I'm going to do one more color and then I'm going to show you the next step. Red, yes, we're going to use red. Now, you can come up with all kinds of patterns. You're super creative. What are some shapes we could do patterns with?
Circles.
Hearts and circles and triangles. Rectangles and squares. You guys are wonderful. Octagons. Whoa, that's a fancy one.
Dodecahedrons.
Okay. I'm going to challenge you to put that in here. All right, this is where the magic happens. I put my marker on my coffee filter. Now, I have mini spray bottles. They do say hand sanitizer on them. It's not hand sanitizer, it's water. Okay.
They lie.
No, there was hand sanitizer. I just used it all, and I thought, what cool little bottles. We could use these in art class, so I saved them. Now, are they squirt guns?
No.
No.
Still have sanitizer.
So, if I see anybody squirting their buddy, or squirting the person they don't like, whatever it is, the rule in my art class is if I see you using a spray bottle as a squirt gun, you don't get to do the project. Okay? No detention here at the library program. You gotta do something else. All right, we ready? Now, I don't need to squirt it like I'm putting out a fire. I just need to mist it. Now, while that is mixing and coming together, do you see how the color is slowly starting to spread?
Yeah.
I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to put a lot of water on it just so that you can see what will happen. If I let that water slowly dry, do you see how they're starting to bleed together? Isn't that pretty? You've done that before? Well, we let those dry. And as they're drying, we decide what we're going to make. So, I made flowers. So we're going to color 2 filters. 2 filters make a fluffy flower. 2 filters can make a tie-dye butterfly. Or you could make a little person with a really frilly skirt. Like a little ballerina, like a little dancing girl. Now, I know some people, whether it's your adult that's with you and that's too messy. I get it. Sometimes those crafts are too messy with water bottles and bleeding ink. It's all washable, so we don't have to worry if we get it on our hands. It might stain for a few minutes, but after you wash your hands a couple times, it'll be gone. And it'll come out of your clothing. But if you don't really like working 3-dimensional like I do, I've got a couple different crafts. One, I thought of puzzles. All together now, we need all of our puzzle pieces to make the picture complete. So over there on the wall is a big puzzle that even the adults can do. We're all going to work together. And you can pick a sticker. There's a color chart on the wall. The color has a letter, and the boxes all have letters. So you look, and that's where the adults will have to help. You can pick a square, and you can put a sticker in. When all of the stickers are on the wall, it's going to be a picture for the library.
What is it?
If you like puzzles, the other option I have today is I got blank puzzles. And you can use crayons or markers or the pencils to draw a picture on the puzzle. And then you have something that you can do later on today. You can take Yes, and you can take apart your puzzle and then put it back together. Or you can write a message on a puzzle and then give it to somebody. You can take it all apart and give them the bag with all the pieces and say put it together, and then they can read your message or your picture that you draw. So you could draw a picture for mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, somebody special. So to show you, last night really quickly I just thought about our story, so when we all get together the picture is complete. I drew the crayon box, and this one I used crayons and markers. So when we bring out our craft table, that's one of the options if you don't want to tie-dye the coffee filters. And lastly, I have little tiny canvases because I love how colors blend together when I'm painting and drawing. So I have little canvases that you can, I have magnets, we can make refrigerator magnets if you want, and you can draw a picture on a canvas. That's a lot of choices. I know that's a lot of choices. But what we're going to do, we're going to bring the tables out. If you want to make something with, see how my coffee filter? Yeah, it's going to continue to dry. dry. I made it really wet, but you can see how the colors are blending. If I gather them together and I use a pipe cleaner on the bottom, I can make a flower. And then when it really dries, I can separate it.
Or you can get other ones and make the other one beautiful and then put them together and then make a fair.
You're right, that's true. So are we ready to create?
Yeah!
Are we ready to listen?